Welcome back to your Yankees Latest. I'm your host, John Laloggia. Game 1 is upon us tonight. Red Sox, Yankees, 6:08 Eastern start. It doesn't get any better than this. 3-game set. Let's go. I want to preview the series a little bit. So, just for historical reference, Red Sox won 19 out of their 13 games versus the Yankees this year. In those games, Boston has outscored the Yankees 54-31. So it's safe to say the Yankees have a problem with Boston. However, the Yankees won 3 out of the 4 final matchups and held Boston just to 12 runs in those games. So, Game 1 is Garrett Crochet versus Max Fried. Crochet's probably going to win the AL Cy Young. He's 18-5, 2.59 ERA. Fried's recent stretch has been pretty good. He's won his last 6 starts, allowing 8 earned runs over 46 and a third innings, striking out 48. That's pretty good. The Red Sox bullpen does have one of the lowest relief ERAs in baseball at 3.61. If the Yankees, I'm going to go out a prediction here. The Yankees beat Garrett Crochet, they win the series. The Red Sox cannot win this short series if they do not get a Game 1 win with Garrett Crochet on the mound. I just think the Yankees have the advantage with starting pitching. They have more depth at starting pitching. And Garrett Crochet has to shut down, and I mean shut down, the Yankees. If the Red Sox lose Game 1, a game that Crochet starts, I think they're in real trouble. So tonight's game is huge. And I believe the team who wins Game 1 wins the majority of these best 2 out of 3 series. It's really important. And the Yankees have home field advantage. Other historical reference and breakdown. So I want to look at home field advantage and venue effects. So Boston actually won 5 of their last 7 regular season games played in New York. But again, the Yankees have home field advantage throughout the whole playoffs. So, this is the 6th postseason meeting between the Yankees and Red Sox. More broadly, the Yankees-Red Sox rivalry is, one of the best rivalries in sports history. That's why it's on ESPN. That's why it got flexed to the night game. That's why they're not like the Cubs playing a 2 p.m. game on ABC. They're in prime time. Crochet has just been incredible. He struck out 39 batters in over 27 and a third innings against New York this year with a whip of .88. The betting probability, 57.3 win probability for the Yankees. I'm not putting a lot of stock into that. But it should be good. Crochet is obviously going to be very tough against lefties. So Bellinger, Grisham, it's going to be a test for sure. But the Yankees do have depth at starting pitching. They have Fried in Game 1, maybe Heel or Rodon in Game 2, and then either of those guys in Game 3. You have Schlittler if you need to start a game or come out of the bullpen. Yarborough has started and come out of the bullpen, and I don't think he'll probably start this series. Probably just used for lefties, but they just have more depth at starting position, starting pitching staff, and I think it's a tremendous advantage. And I just think it's something that the Yankees are really, really going to struggle with for sure. I'm going to talk a little bit about the X factors here. So we know it's the playoffs. We know Judge historically does not perform well in the playoffs. I think it changes this year. While he's homered off of Crochet twice in his career, most of their matchup has ended in strikeouts. 11 of 13 at-bats that Judge has faced Crochet, he struck out. The other 2 times he homered. Stanton, over his last 65 games, is slashing .279, .352, .659, and His weighted on base average has improved. Those two guys need to really get it done. Obviously Grisham and Bellinger are solid, but those two guys need to hit, and more importantly, need to slug, hit home runs or hit extra base hits. It's really, really important. Again, Judge won the freaking batting title with a 331 average, 53 home runs, 114 RBIs, 1.145 OPS. He led MLB in average and OPS. Stanton, obviously we know he crushes the ball. His exit velocity is crazy. His average exit velocity is 94. His hard hit rate is 55. His barrel rate's 22. So those two guys need to slug. That's how this team wins this series and goes deep in the playoffs. And I'm really looking for them to do so. I'm really looking for Judge to have a good postseason so people cannot keep saying that he does not perform well in the postseason. Some of the X factors for the Red Sox, you look at Boston's Cedar Rafaela. He had the highest defensive metrics, outs above average among outfielders at 33. And then Bregman, Story, and Duran are just incredible offensive contributors, but play really, really good defense. And that's the thing about this team is they catch the ball and they play really good defense. They don't slug and hit as many home runs as the Yankees, but they play really good defense. And that's something that the Yankees haven't always done, which is a little concerning. In the Red Sox, it's not like the Red Sox don't have depth. They do. They're a much more balanced offense than the Yankees, which is why, Judge and Stanton need to slug. They do. And if those two guys aren't slugging, they're not going to go far in the playoffs. I mean, that's just a fact. That's how this team is built. They don't run the bases really well. They're not super fast or athletic. They slug and they hit home runs, and that's how they win. And you got to ride or die with that. But, hopefully they're able to do that. I think obviously Crochet is going to be a tough matchup in Game 1. But if the Yankees win Game 1, Red Sox are toast. They just are. And, again, for the X Factor, I think the biggest one for the Red Sox is Crochet. It's a must-win game, I think, in tonight. And then for the Yankees, it's Judge. Okay, Judge has got to take what he's done in the regular season and make it happen in the postseason. There's just no ifs, ands, or buts about it. He just has to start performing. Position by position. So I want to go through each position and sort of go through and then figure out who has the advantage. So let's start at catcher. Austin Wells is going to start Game 1. Ben Rice will probably play first or DH, probably first. But Austin Wells, and then you have Narvaez for the Red Sox. He's got a 786 OPS, but Wells has an 836 OPS. And I would say, but the thing about Narvaez too is he's got 8 homers and 31 RBIs in 73 games. But he is an elite defender, and Wells is not. He ranks in the top 12% of the league in blocks above average and caught stealing and framing. So advantage goes to the Red Sox there. First base, Rice isn't behind the plate. He'll probably share duties with Goldschmidt. Goldschmidt is much better defensively. Nathaniel Lowe was released by the Nationals on the 16th and then signed with the Red Sox a couple days later. But he's 790 OPS in 34 games. Definitely improving, but the advantage goes to the Yankees. The combination of Goldschmidt, the leadership, the ability to hit with runners in scoring position, defensively, and then Ben Rice has just been an absolute monster at the plate. A 981 OPS, Goldschmidt against left-handers this year. So, advantage Yankees. Second base, Chisholm, 30 for 30 season. 30 home runs, 30 stolen bases, 813 OPS in 130 games. He's been awesome. He's just been incredible. He had a slump, but he has definitely bounced back since then. And he hit 317 with 4 homers and a 965 OPS in 12 games against the Red Sox. And then Romy Gonzalez definitely had a breakout year in his age 28 year. that, you know, they say like you peak at 27. Well, in age 28, he's had a breakout year. He's had career highs in home runs with 9, an 826 OPS, 305 average. That's pretty good. But advantage goes to the Yankees. It's very difficult to compete with a 30-30 and Chisholm. Shortstop, we know Volpe. I think this is an easy one. We can all spend a ton of time on this. Volpe versus Trevor Story. I could go through the stats, but I think we can all agree Story is much better shortstop than Volpe. Volpe has obviously had his struggles defensively, and Story has had his best year since joining the Red Sox in 22. He had 25 home runs, 3.8 B WAR in 157 games, 741 OPS, including an 847 OPS in 13 games against the Yankees. So he's a stud. Advantage Red Sox there. Third base, Ryan McMahon versus Bregman. It's Bregman. Bregman, was injured a little bit this year, but he has an 822 OPS, 18 home runs, and we know what Bregman has done in the playoffs. So that's an easy one. 19 home runs, 789 OPS, and 99 career postseason games. That's easy. It's Bregman. Left field, Bellinger versus Duran. I'm going to go Bellinger. If you look, Bellinger slugged 29 home runs with 98 RBIs, 814 OPS with a 5 B WAR. He can also play first base, too, if you need him. Duran wasn't as good in 25 as he was in 24, but he had 16 home runs with 84 RBIs, and he stole 24 bases. So still good, but not as good as Bellinger. Center field, Grisham or Rafaela. Grisham has had a career year. Rafaela's really good defensively, 95 OPS plus. Really good, really athletic, but Grisham has hit 34 home runs in 143 games, 812 OPS. The best season of his career. I mean, it's just been an absolutely incredible, and not just home runs, clutch, big home runs, late in games, a lot of times off of left-handed pitching. Grisham gets the nod there. Right field, Judge versus Rob Refsnyder. Let's not waste time. It's Judge pretty much over everyone. And then DH, Stanton versus Masahiro Yoshida. It's Stanton. Stanton, I know, was hurt with the bicep injury, but in 77 games, he had 24 home runs with a 944 OPS. So, and Stanton's clutch in the playoffs as well. Starting pitching, Fried, Rodon, Schlittler versus Crochet, Bello, and Giolito. I'm giving it to the Yankees. I just am. I think they're better. Bullpen, probably, let's be honest here. I'm going to give it to the Red Sox because, Camilo Doval, Devin Williams, Fernando Cruz, Luke Weaver, Tim Hill, these guys, other than Bednar, these guys have been inconsistent. Aroldis Chapman, who may have been having his best career at age 37. And then you have Zach Kelly, Justin Slayton, and then Garrett Whitlock, and then Greg Weisser, who's just been a really good job to bridge to the all-star closer Chapman. Its advantage goes to the Red Sox. So we will see what happens tonight. Should be a good one. Can't wait. This has been your Yankees Latest. I'm your host, John Laloggia. Enjoy Game 1 tonight. I will be here tomorrow morning to recap it and preview Game 2. Take care. Have a good evening. Go Yanks. Bye-bye.